So this is gonna be a rather different type of video that you tend to see on this channel. I guess you could call this a rant or just something I want to get off my chest on a topic that has been throwing an absolute shitstorm over on Twitter. So about 2 to 3 days ago, this screenshot of a Discord chat was posted on Twitter. It may seem petty to base this whole video on a single screenshot, but there is way more to add on this. But basically, a player that goes by the name as Speedskilled from the Philippines has been mocking and belittling numerous players' skills lately. Why? Well, as the MWC is just right around the corner, every team's roster has now been revealed. And looking at Philippines' roster, it seems like he didn't make the team. Rightfully so, as he seems to be a relatively new player to the scene. And, according to people on the actual MWC team, he made an absolute no effort to make the team, besides basically signing up. But it doesn't take that much thinking to realize that you actually need to have experience, a reputation, and a presence in tournaments to be able to make the national team. All of which Speed didn't do, and instead simply based it on rank and top plays. And if there's one thing that I and many others have learned along the way, is that ranked means nothing in this game. Going off on a little side tangent, a few days ago someone asked me in my Discord DMs for my opinion on the issue of comparing players in the rhythm game community. My response was that there is and will always be a difference between top players and how they are viewed and judged. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you show your friend gameplay of this. And then you compare it to this. And now ask them, which do they think is more impressive? Odds are they're gonna pick the JH Lee one. Etienne actually made a really informative video on how people new to the rhythm game scene perceive how hard a map is without knowing the fundamentals and logistics behind the game.
In the end, the best course of action is to simply tell people NPS is not equal to difficulty.
Going back to the tournament standpoint, sure, being able to read and play 300 BPM streams or chord jacks for about 4 minutes straight, it can help, but you do realize that it won't be Triumph and Regret, Eternal White, C18 whatever the fuck every round. Top players in any game can and will always be separated by skill sets. Rarely ever do you find someone who excels in every skill set. Take players such as Majesty, Tukey, Polyester, and other ACK players. They don't go for top PP plays at all, and instead, they sink countless of hours and play count into refining their scores on multiple 3 to 5 star accuracy maps. So there is a clear difference in skill when it comes to rhythm games, and many fail to acknowledge that. But now, going back to the main topic at hand, by the time of recording this video, Speed has actually came out with an apology on his Osu profile. In his so-called apology, he mentions that the whole dilemma is a so-called joke, and we clearly don't understand this type of humor. He literally starts off the entire apology with "another day on Twitter," which already makes this so-called apology very insincere. But anyways, he then goes on to state that he's well aware of the whole rank doesn't equal skill thing, and that he just farms PP for fun. But that doesn't really make sense when he was so adamant on his rank justifying the sole reason of him being deserving to be on that MWC team. He then goes on to play the victim by mentioning he never said that he was any better than the person he compared himself to. But if you clearly read that first screenshot I showed you at the start of the video, you can kinda tell his tone is very condescending. Oh, and there's this too, but I don't know, I'm not offended or anything. He concludes this so-called apology with a sympathetic message of him saying that he really appreciates the Osu community, and concludes again with the blame shifting to the Twitter users for not understanding his twisted humor. In my honest opinion, this is not a proper apology, more like a rushed one, quick to the typical excuse of the whole premises being based on a joke. But that's pretty much it for this rant, commentary, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to get this off my chest and voice out what I think is best for us to move on. And once again, the MWC is right around the corner. Actually, by the time of recording this video, I think that the qualifiers are almost done. And I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of everyone. We would all like to move forward from this and enjoy another year of fierce competition. And if Speed is watching this, I mean no harm and foul. You made a mistake, move on from it. Respect players regardless of their ranks and skill sets. And if you truly want to make the MWC team in the future, try to put yourself out there and make them choose you, not for your rank, but rather for your reputation as a player. Thank you. That's it. See ya.